They were some of the best in the world. It was among the greatest collection of basketball talent assembled, especially within its time frame. And for our purposes, all the more impressive because it happened here in Rochester. It was January 24th, 1956. The Rochester Community War Memorial was a mere 3 months old when it hosted the 6th NBA All-Star Game. The association was still in its infancy. The teams representing the Western Conference that day, the Minneapolis Lakers, St. Louis Hawks, Fort Wayne Pistons, and the Rochester Royals, would relocate, all of them. The Royals, of course, seeking greener pastures, as it were, went to Cincinnati just a year later, eventually moving to Sacramento, where they play today as the Kings. On the court that day at the War Memorial were 13 Naismith Basketball Hall of Famers. Although, to be fair, you wouldn't know many of the names. Maurice Stokes, who helped usher in the era of the dynamic black superstar, and Bobby Wanzer represented Rochester. Bob Pettit, who along with Bob Cousy was the most decorated of those 13, won the first of his 4 NBA All-Star MVP honors by scoring 20 points with 24 rebounds off the bench. The West won that game 108-94. Unlike its modern-day counterpart, it more closely resembled the way the game was played on a nightly basis back then, when teams averaged 91 points per game. Later that year, Bill Russell would be drafted into the league. 3 years after that, Wilt Chamberlain came to be, followed by Weston Baylor, Bird and Magic, Michael and LeBron. Only a fool would attempt to argue that the game was better back then, when back in 1956, Rochester played host to some of the best in the world.